please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop, and we have a whole nother bunch of news. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, really, Doctor Who will never die. I mean, might be. I think everything dies eventually. You know, entropy, Adric. Was it Adric who talked about entropy? I can't remember. Everything dies eventually, but Doctor Who just doesn't seem like it'll ever die. I mean, like, franchises do die eventually. Flash Gordon, you seen a Flash Gordon movie or a TV show or a Buck Rogers or Lone Ranger? Oh, it's all Lone. Okay, just a complete aside. The Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp was very good. I really enjoyed that, right? I don't know why it didn't do well. I thought it was a lot of fun, but no, did not. Well, franchises do die, but Doctor Who is just, I mean, it doesn't matter how much damage has been done to it. There's always new Doctor Who news. Now, honestly, this couldn't go on forever. I think if Russell T Davies didn't come back for the 60th anniversary and beyond, we would be about 5 years away from it being over forever, right? It takes time for it to peter out, right? During the original Wilderness years in the 90s, you know, it developed into a whole new thing, like a much more small cottage industry of books and then eventually CDs, audios. And it was kind of fun. Like, Doctor Who magazine was like, 40, 50 pages long and mostly in black and white. And it was kind of fun, right? It was kind of fun. Then smart people liked it and nobody else really remembered it. And then Rusty Davies was a smart person who they really wanted to bring back. Jane Tranter wanted Doctor Who to come back. And Rusty Davies was the man, right? And then it became huge. It became huger than huger ever. And we're in a very modern landscape, right? It's very different, very different from days of yore. However, I do think that if Rusty Davies didn't come back and they wouldn't have found anybody else, and that really would have been the end, right? But and as it stands, I think we're looking as one of the closest near ends that we had. I think this is closer than we came when Patrick Troughton left. That's when I think it was one of the closest times for it to really go. Amazingly, some idiots at BBC wanted to end it when David Tennant left. I mean, that's just the dumbest take. I mean, like, these people in charge are so stupid. It's unbelievable. It's like they're so stupid, so ignorant, and have so much power. It just blows my mind. Yeah, when David Tennant was gonna go, they're like, well, we can't continue Doctor Who without David Tennant. Who can imagine Doctor Who without David Tennant? Meanwhile, Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee looking at each other going, what? Yeah, it's the concept that survived, and I think grew into something really quite marvellous in the Matt Smith years and the Capaldi years, well, quite frankly. But, we have plenty of news to get through. Is my point, right? I think is the point I'm burgeoning point I'm trying to make. I'm recording this on Thursday, September 8th, so I take my life in my hands. Well, not really, not my life in my hands. That's somewhat hyperbolic now, isn't it? I may have to record an insert. I'm recording a news video a day early, and I may have to record an insert if there's new news. If there's new news, there'll be new. I'll add something into this video. I hope not, because I'm gonna get it all like the thumbnail done and all uploaded by Friday. I kind of like that. Normally, I'll say to my wife, Friday is like Saturday in Israel. Our weekend is Saturday and Sunday. So normally I would say to my wife on Friday, if I've got everything, that means I've got my whole week's worth of work done. On Friday, do you want to go out for breakfast or brunch? Because that's a big thing here in Israel. This week, not so much. She's got the dreaded lurgy. She's got the dreaded corona. So not so much. But and I don't know what the rules are anymore. I'm so confused, right? I'm so bloody confused. I should have moved down into the guest bedroom, but I'm like, look, I've been with you before you took the stupid test, and you clearly had it the last couple of days, as I was telling everyone. But I think worst case scenario, I might get sick, right? But whatever is happening is, I'm not going out for brunch tomorrow. Okay, I think that's the headline. I'm not getting brunch tomorrow. Last week was freaking awesome, right? We don't go every week. We go once every month or so. Last week we found this place run by these kids with special needs. It was so good. right? It was freaking awesome. The food was fantastic. And listen, if you do visit Israel, and I'm encouraging all of you to move to Israel. Why, Jewish or not? I'm Jewish or not, because I think there's tough times coming, right? I do think there's tough times coming in England and America. If you want a first world country with nice weather and a good economy, plus whether an atheist or a Bible thumper or whatever, I still think you're probably going to be best over here. So move over here for a bit. And again, I'm really, I'm not somebody into proselytizing. I'm just very, very grateful that you watch the videos, and I would like your life not to suck horribly. And that's really it. I mean, 70% of pubs are going to close by December. Really? Have you ever met the English? You can do pretty much anything to the English other than close the bloody pubs. Although they kind of got you conditioned to it during COVID. Back to COVID again. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment. Again, that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Sign up my Substack, my email newsletter. On Fridays, I send out an out-of-print Doctor Who novel. I've been doing like the New Adventures or the Eighth Doctor Adventures or maybe the Missing Adventures or the Bastard. From the 80s, from the 90s and the early 2000s. What's going to be today? I don't know. I have to look what I have. I got a whole treasure troves of PDFs. So sign up there. It's free. Sign up my paid Substack. What I really want to do, and I'm like, I had some time yesterday and I blew it away. I didn't blow it away, right? I was looking at my wife who had corona, who feels awful, right? But I really want to do digital digital cards, like cards you can put on your phone. Because I have this one I want to do for Genesis of the Daleks. So it starts off, you'll see two hand holding up two wires, right? And then that'll fade, and in the background it's blurry. Then have the wires go to fade into a blur, and it'll be Tom Baker's face. I'm gonna draw it, right? Tom Baker's face, and with the caption, "Do I have the right?" I love that, right? For me, that's archetypal Doctor Who, and I like the idea of doing these kinetic moves, not NFTs, okay? Not NFTs. These are not. I looked into them. I thought they looked cool. They're a bit dodgy. No, this is just digital artwork. I think that's what's going to be on my paid Substack, which is like $5 a month. Go ahead and sign up to that. They're freaking awesome. It's awesome. If I ever get around to doing it, right? That's really your biggest your biggest hurdle. Will I get around to doing it? Probably, because I'm kind of in the mood to, right? That's a big motivator for me. I'm in the mood to. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. All those things are very, very good. Let's get to the news, right? So I'm glad I waited till today to this news. So I got two of these stories I'm going to put back to back, and it tells a much bigger story, right? It tells a much bigger story. This first one I don't think would have bothered me at all if it was 2015. I'd be like, yeah, fine, what the hell? I don't want to be an arsehole about things. In 2022, we live in a world. Okay, the world we're living in, I just look out the window and go, this is awful, right? It is lies built on lies, built on lies, and it always has been. But man, there used to be a nodding relationship to truth, right? There used to be like, we're going to vaguely acknowledge that truth is real and it means something. I mean, man, are people losing their shit completely over any criticism of Lord of the Rings, Power of the Ring, which is unwatchable garbage. It's just awful, right? It's just, and it's not because Lenny Henry is black, right? No. It's awful because it's shit. It's awful because it just doesn't understand. It doesn't understand a hero's journey because it hates masculinity, and part of a hero is a masculine word. So it's much of a hero journey, and the hero journey is very different. The hero's journey is kind of like Star Wars is the archetype when you start, as a young, waif and stray, and you get some kind of mentor, and you go and you learn some new skills, and you overcome obstacles, and then eventually you face the final battle. Everything you prepared you is for this thing, right? This builds you up. The hero's journey, however, is quite different. That she was always stunning and brave and fantastic and awesome. Always the best. And there was toxic masculinity that always pushed them down. And the hero's journey is getting everybody to understand that she is the bestest ever. right? The best, even though everyone's going to ignore her, but she is the bestest ever. That's the hero's journey. It's not very inspiring. It really is one of the hero's journey I find quite inspiring. So that I think is one of the fundamental problems with it. Is just, but people truth is something people absolutely hate, right? People like Neil Gaiman's running around like his hair's on fire when people went, oh man, this is shit. Well, obviously you haven't read the source material. No, we just don't like unwatchable shit. The fact that it's unwatchable shit because it's based on an insane gender politics ideology that doesn't relate to reality in any way. It is somewhat parenthetical. It's mainly shit, right? It's mainly shit, but they do not like truth and reality. Which ties into this story here. Doctor Who animation director, I'm assuming it's Gary Russell, why the abominable snowman designs were changed? Well, firstly, why did you make Captain Troughton? Patrick Troughton, not Captain Troughton, although quite an interesting superhero. Captain Troughton. Dun, dun, dun. Captain Troughton is pissed as a fart. Remember this and do not try to emulate him. Captain Troughton. Okay, Patrick Troughton, his big fur coat. Why is it so skinny? It looks so crap. I mean, I can handle them walking around like they're just refugees from Bod. And if you don't know what Bod is, go look it up. Oh, here comes Bod. Okay, again, if you don't know what Bod is, you have a voyage of discovery for you. And that's what, I can put up with all of that, right? Well, not really so much this coat. I mean, why? No, but I think they're changing it for racial sensitivity, right? Racial sensitivity, which is so important if you're a moron. Certain character designs for the new animation were differ dramatically from the live-action version. I'm not sure I'm on board for that, right? I really not. I think these things should work as a reconstruction to give you an idea of what it was originally like. This whole idea that like Talons of Weng-Chiang, for example, was racist. Or looking back at the past, we keep seeing people keep demanding that the past attitudes compared to today's morality are deeply racist. I'm sorry, today's attitudes are insane, mate, right? Like, if you go back again to 2015 and you say, women generally speaking, it's no problem for them to have a penis, they'll go like, what? What? No, come on. You don't even go back to 2015. Go back to 2018. I think 2018 you had Dennis Prager on Bill Maher, right? And Dennis Prager was like, who brought up this clearly YouTube. I just want to be clear. Women can have penises. I'm not complaining. I just want to be clear. Women totally can have dicks, right? Chicks with dicks. It's the thing, apparently. Go ahead. Although if you watch Ted, I think it's Ted 2. Ted 2. When Marky Mark is watching too much porn, right? And Ted is reeling them out. And he goes, chicks with dicks is the part of the point. There are no chicks with dicks, Johnny. Is it Johnny? There are no chicks with dicks. There are just men with tits. Well, that was Ted's attitude. I'm not saying that, YouTube, right? This is not me. This is Ted, who was an animated teddy bear. Anyway. I have no idea how we got onto that. I just got strapped up the chicks with it. We live in strange times. Basically, if you're going by the attitudes of the day and you judge the past, like Ted 2 is racist. If you judge it by the attitudes of the day, maybe the attitudes of today are completely fucking bonkers. Maybe. And again, I don't want to say I'm being hateful to anybody or they don't exist. I completely believe they exist, right? I believe there are people out there who think the earth is flat. I think they exist. Is the earth flat? I don't think so. I've never flown around it. I couldn't tell you. I doubt that it's flat, but they think it's flat and they exist. Completely they think it exists. There are people out there who feel that that gender is fluid. They exist. They completely exist. Are they right? I don't know. I'm not God. I didn't create human beings. It seems to be the science and it seems to be a bit dodgy, but I don't know. YouTube. Live and let live, baby. That's what I say. Anyway, so they didn't want to be racist, apparently, by the 2022 value. And here's the thing. The more that this is Gary Russell, the more that they want to have this racial gender ideology, right? People my age, like, who should know better, like, because they're basically triggered into it in a form of tribalism. Like, oh, I can't support the Tories or Trump, so therefore we got to erase the past completely. Okay, there you go. What? Yeah, will find themselves somewhat upset by these choices when, here's the thing. When we said freedom of speech is really important, you shouldn't take it away from people, otherwise they'll be taken away from you. They're all saying the same thing now, right? They're all going around saying, maybe children shouldn't have hysterectomies. I don't know, like elective hysterectomies. Maybe they should have elective mastectomies or vaginoplasties. Maybe I don't know. And then, but they're not allowed to say that because they're not allowed to. There's no free speech anymore. When you take away free speech from one thing, you lose free speech from everything. Which is where I think a lot of people my age on the other side of the cultural aisle are finding themselves now. Okay, so this back to the Abominable Snowman. The Doctor Who serial, The Abominable Snowman, the first broadcast in 1967, now missing from the archives by one episode. The six-parter has been recreated for a new release, animated visuals to match the soundtrack. Yeah, thank God people recorded it. The story sees second Doctor Patrick Troughton, not Captain Troughton, Captain Troughton, dun, 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 pissed as a fart on Wednesday. Actually, that'd be more than Tom Baker, wouldn't it? And companions Fraser Hines, probably pissed as a fart as well. And Deborah Watley, not a stranger to the tipple herself, from what I understand. Arrive at a monastery in Tibet, 1935, where they battle the robotic Yeti. They didn't know the robotic at first, but never mind. Fans will notice that the animated version features radically different character designs from the Tibetan monks featured in the story. So the project's co-director, Gary Russell, explaining why he wanted to rectify the mistake made by the live-action original casting of white actors in these roles. Listen, I was kind of okay with Asianing up the background characters, right? That sounds fun. But, like, isn't it really super yellow-faced to do an Asian animated character with a Caucasian person doing the voice? I don't understand rules. They're all insane, right? Frank Azaria can't do Apu on The Simpsons because that's mocking somebody of a different race. No, you idiot morons. No, he was an American making fun of Americans, right? Now we're all racially divided. Hi, welcome to 2022, where we got racial segregation from the left from the left wing. It's weird, right? We always were, like I grew up anyway, kind of on guard for fascism and racism returning, ringing their ugly head. It always expected to come from the right wings. No, it didn't. It came from the left, didn't it? So freaking weird. I mean, like, we got segregated dormitories now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get segregated drinking fountains soon. Like, that's when we know it's over, right? When they go back to Alabama and put back in those segregated fountains they dragged out in the early 60s, right? Yes, it makes life so much better, doesn't it? Speaking of the BFI screening, Southbank screening, Russell explained that he and the animation team on the project looked at the real Tibetan months from the 1930s to inspire the new design. I mean, they should really A/B them, right? I need to see the originals compared to this. It's really it's actually my only real bugbear about the original director, Gerald Blake's directing. What was he thinking, said Russell. Why did he cast white people to play Asian characters? I guess because they're in the back. It's not even a thing of the 1960s because there were plenty of Asian actors living and working in the UK appearing on television. I don't know, maybe it's just... maybe we just weren't thinking constantly about race, right? Maybe we weren't just constantly judging people by their skin colour, which I just don't think is a good idea. I don't. I'm sorry I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't think it's a good idea to constantly judge people by their skin colour. Or only by the skin colour. The director and producer on time say, oh, well, there just weren't the actors around at the time to do that sort of thing. Absolute rubbish! They should have been given the job. Again, this is somewhat supposed to be resurrecting a thing of the past, right? That we stupidly destroyed because we're idiots. That's what it's supposed to be. It was never an issue for me. The obvious thing that we were going to do. I mean, I don't know. I think I wouldn't have minded it. Them changing the costumes to be more authentic, for example. But and honestly, again, would I even notice? We were was it that was the obvious thing we were going to do. We were going to rectify that mistake made in 96M because it's just bloody insulting. That's my problem with it, right? That you're so insulted by it, right? You don't want to make. Yeah, it's this indignant, like, oh, how dare they? No, right? It's so weird. And the reason that I think it's a bad idea to let that be a motivation, because hate is always it always shows through, right? And I was thinking about this last night. Like, what is it that makes identity casting so freaking obvious, right? So clear and so obvious. Because I thought Lawrence Fishburne was a great idea to play Perry White in the Zack Snyder Supermans, right? I think it was perfect, right? He exuded the character, whereas Jeffrey Wright playing Commissioner Gordon in the Batman, which honestly I found the Batman a turgid wade through hell. I mean, like, if you haven't seen the Batman, get Batman Begins and play it at half speed with the lighting turned down halfway, right? Basically the same thing. It's just a turgid mess, but like. I think it seemed to be the casting of Jeffrey Wright. Again, fantastic actor who I love in pretty much everything, who I disagree with pretty much everything, because he's only an actor. His job is to say words convincingly. And he does. He does that very well, right? I think it's like you can sort of feel the hatred behind that decision, that hatred of our culture, of normative Western civilization culture, which is something I think we should be pretty proud of. We did, end slavery and lift up most of our population from poverty, like reduce poverty dramatically until crazy leftists came in and took over and destroyed everything. But I think Western civilization has done quite some good things in the world, right? I think we should feel proud of it. Okay, not that we done completely good things, but nobody has. I mean, compare Western civilization to any other civilization, I think they're doing pretty well, right? I think there's a lot to be proud of there. One of the characters, the Master of the Monastery, Padmas Sambhava, played by Wolf Morris, who was being kept alive for centuries by the Great Intelligence, also gets a substantial redesign, with Russ explaining the character's newly wizened form was inspired by the classic tales from the Crypt comic series. Why can it be inspired by, the Abominable Snowman? Right? Like Doctor Who. Wouldn't that be a great idea? You're a big fan of EC Comics. I was looking at the Crypt Keeper and thinking things like that. The original story, only episode 2 is believed to exist. What do you mean, believed to exist? I mean, maybe it does, but they're in private collections by, I think the technical term is selfish cunts. I think that's what the technical term is. However, Russell advised his teams working on the new animation to not watch the surviving footage. Yeah, I mean, certainly don't watch the surviving footage of Fury of the Deep, because that's so much better than the turgid shit he put out. It's a very different beast. The designs were completely different, and the whole thing, animation, live action, are not directed in the same way. Well, I think you're missing a trick, then, frankly. I think that's really one of the points of it, right? You get to feel what the story was like. So if you're not trying to replicate what the director did, and I'm not saying slavishly try and replicate the original, but use that as your guide, essentially. I mean, look, I've made no secret that I found the Gary Russell animations dramatically lower in quality from whoever the other team was, which was much better, right? I think the other team, generally speaking, tried to stick a lot more to the essence of the what they were trying to recreate. Great example in the Faceless ones, right? While not slavishly doing it, in the Faceless one, Pauline Collins has this dress with all these polka dots on it, and if they did it exactly the same, it would look really weird in animation. It wouldn't really work. So they made the polka dots much bigger, right? But it feels like the same thing, right? It feels like it flows from one to the other. Like in the Evil of the Daleks animation, when I watch it, I watch the animation, I watch the existing episode slotted in because I want to try and experience it. That's the point. These animations, right? Which I think you're missing missing a trick. They look very good, very odd as the animated. Was it? In the live action episodes, they would look very odd as animated episodes. So you have to make the 6 episodes of make it flow 6 episodes of animation. Again, the other team did that, right? The other team did that. But again, it's this constant encroaching on current day onto our background, our history, right? Our culture. And what's the result of it? It means these things stop selling, right? It means these things are not as popular as they used to be, and as if to confirm that, doink, we have this story over here. Doctor Who director addresses animation hiatus. This is it for us. Yes, I understand. You're the idiot modern day attitudes were just ran through current day Doctor Who, right? And decimated its popularity. Completely, I mean, really, it didn't work out well, but it absolutely decimated its popularity, and making all these type of projects non-viable. Because, if 10 million people used to watch Doctor Who, and now 1 million people watch Doctor Who, right? And those 1 million people are somewhat less engaged than the 10 million people, you're going to have a smaller pool of people who are willing to buy your ancillary products, right? Doesn't seem to be complicated, does it? But, I don't know. Look, people are stupid, right? People are, generally speaking, absolute morons, I was thinking, was it last week, Biden gave this speech where he said anybody voting against him is a threat to democracy. Essentially, right? Anybody who does it, which was kind of weird. Nobody's ever seen a speech like that in American politics. So I'm thinking, what was that's where my brain goes. What is the motivation of the speechwriters of his team that said that was a good idea? Like, what? It was a massive failure. It's backfiring hugely. He's losing middle ground support because of it. Well, the weird thing is, if he pardoned like the January 6th people, like even just the non-violent offences for January 6th, he would probably get re-elected and do very, very well. But no. So he labelled he basically went full fascist. This is what totalitarians do. They use their police and their intelligence divisions to go after their political rivals. Right. This is third world junta kind of stuff. So why do they think it was a good idea? So here's what I think. This is going back to people being morons, right? What do I think? What were they thinking? I think they believe that anybody who voted for Trump, who doesn't like Joe Biden, the reason they don't like him is because they're racist, because they don't like black people, or they don't like brown people, or just have this idiot attitude, right? This is how people like this view normal people, right? So if they make Joe Biden look more fascist, he's going to appeal more to the Trump voter. I think that's what their idiot idea was. I really do, because people are stupid. Okay, so this is it for us. Yeah, I guess I understand. You've chipped away at the foundation of the commercial viability of these products by destroying the ground that it was on. Right? It's like imagine you're on a boat, right, and you have an idiot who says, I bought this part of the boat for the passage, and he starts drilling into the hole, into the water, and well, what are you going to do? You're going to sink the ship? Said, no, this is my bit. I can do it in my bit. Yeah, you sunk the boat, idiots. So the current animation team, animated reconstruction will come to an end with the Abominable Snowman, right? Yes, because you're idiots. Doctor Who animated, Darry Russell, blah, 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 since 2006, blah, 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 speaking of BFI, blah, 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 blah. From Big Finish's point of view, this is it for us. And I'm just very glad we were able to, we went out on one of the best Doctor Who stories of all time. Darling, you took a shit over Fury of the Deep. Let's be fair, you really screwed that up. We got a chance to do that. I mean, never mind. Touching on the possibility of future animation, he said the invasion was 2006. And there was a long gap, and then there was a little flurry as they did the 10th Planet, Reign of Terror, Moonbase. Reign of Terror wasn't very good, and then there was another gap between Power of the Dark. So yes, they were looking for new ways to be able to make it commercially viable. And they found one, and then they destroyed the client base. Morons, right? Which is very, very sad, right? Very, very sad. But yeah, I like how those two stories play out with each other. Next news story, which I don't know. For me, this doesn't really do much, but it does lead to somewhere interesting. Third director for Doctor Who 6th anniversary specials revealed. The director behind Stath, Let's Flats, and Ghost will be joining Doctor Who team next year. Now, a lot of people have called Shooting Gut was casting woke casting, identity casting. It might be a little bit, right? It might be a little. I think he certainly was. I think they certainly favoured a non-white actor. Because again, I think Joss Lee Davis is very much in that mindset. But I also think that he knows he's got to produce a freaking awesome product, right? Yeah, I don't think they're going to get all the Lord of the Rings type of defenses with that they're going to get if this sucks, right? If this 60th anniversary stuff doesn't delight your normie, forget it. And it's when I say delight your normie, not like I was coming home from synagogue a couple of days ago, and I was like, and I said to mention somebody how bad Lord of the Rings was. He's like, oh, I read it was doing quite well. No, they're lying, right? They're lying, and I just don't think the lies actually work anymore. I mean, it works that they don't feel like they can call anybody who doesn't like what they're doing racist. It works for that, but it doesn't work in convincing anybody. The bloke is saying, "I read it was quite good." Is he going to watch it? No, no. It's all about saving face, right? Which is a little bit pathetic, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. So I think he'll probably be pretty good. Rusty Davis, blah blah blah. According to the CV of hair and makeup designer Steve Smith, the 6th anniversary of Spectre will be directed by Tom Kingsley, whoever that is, right? Tom Kingsley with Will Sharp photo. Okay, he looks a little bit scared there. So he'll be joining. So he is listed alongside Sherlock's Rachel Talali and the Spanish ministers Kaya Button. Never heard of. I mean, I heard of Rachel Talali. I don't know. Was it? I can't. How do you pronounce his name? Chanya. Okay. If it was in Israel, it'd be Chaya, but Chanya. I don't know. Kanya Button. Whoever her name is. She's doing number 3. Okay. And we're probably going to see Shooting Gut. We're in it. Kingsley will also directed Will Sharp's 2016 The Darkest Universe, as well as the PBC mockumentary Please Like Us. Recent episode. Okay, who cares? So here's the interesting thing. This picture did then did the rounds on on the interwebs, and you can see there's a bit of Matt Smith in the background, right, on the green. It's photoshopped in. It's all photoshopped in. I'm sorry. I can tell. Unless I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. I think that's all just photoshopped in. No. Here I am. Here's proof. So maybe there is Matt Smith in the background. I'd love to see him back. I'm loving him in Game of Thrones. Was it House of the Dragon, right? And generally speaking, I'm liking House of the Dragon. I thought that was very good this week. So there. But here's an interesting little aside. So this bloke, William Who, I have no idea who he is. He came out on a tirade about me last week. Was it last week or this week? I'm going to put out another video. I talked about it on live stream, putting out as live video. Probably today. It's probably going out on Friday. Just bizarre, bonkers stuff, because they're all bonkers, right? So I only noticed because I thought this. I don't know the story behind this, but it is very, very funny. It makes me laugh anyway. Big welcome to Tom Kingsley. He'll be joining the Hooniverse next year as the director of the second 60th anniversary special. I thought, who knows? If it's the second, third. Oh, we don't know if there's real specials or if they're going to be like TikTok clips. We don't know anything. He's best known for directing Ghost. Nothing is yet known about the mysterious second special, as no public filming took place. To which Rachel Talali chimed in, replied to him, "Not all the information in the above is accurate," says the annoying troll. The headline is, "Yay, Tom." Is she calling... I find him an annoying troll. So, yeah, I like that she's calling him an annoying troll. Oh, hello, Ninja. My blind cat just walked in. I was having a bit of a pad round. Okay. It's actually my daughter's cat. Okay, Ninja, he's looking around, looking at the comics. Something to read? No, you cool? Okay, very good. So I don't know. I don't know if she was replying to him or not. I just thought that was funny, right? It just made me laugh. Something else made me laugh this week was this story over here. There was a big announcement coming out. Huge big announcement, character options, big announcement. What's the big announcement? Oh, are we going to get a new McGann figure? Are we going to get 6 anniversary? What are we going to get? Oh, are we going to get, was it Anna Barbara? We already got, are we going to get Barbara figures? What are we getting? No. We're getting 2 sets that they have in trouble selling. One that I would buy, one that I wouldn't. Friends of the 13th Doctor, the 1975 unit set. You can get them both for a tenner. Because, I guess nobody really wants a couple of, army building squaddies and Tom Baker with a Scottish bonnet, right? I wouldn't mind. I don't really care. I mean, for $10, maybe, but I don't know. But, they can't sell the radioactive waste. That is clearly the friends of the 30th. And that's not a big announcement. I'm sorry. That is not a big announcement. Get over yourselves. So this guy on Twitter, which nails it completely. I'll be honest. I'll defend business or products when they get unnecessary hate. On the flip side, I also criticize a company when it takes customers for fools. It's not generous to reduce prices on things that struggle to sell. It certainly isn't making people. It certainly isn't generous making people wait for news about an exciting product offer. I agree with you. Only to find out it's 2 sets that struggle to sell at selling the shops have been reduced further in the past. Of course, people will be disappointed. There's a reason they sit on shelves in B&M for £3 a box. I honestly can't get my head around the making these special announcements for a discount. It's times like this where character options do baffle me. Me too. I think again, I don't know who this bloke is. I agree with him completely. He might hate that I agree with him completely, but I think he's completely right. The reason I'm getting annoyed is that the potential is so strong, yet stunts like this push people away from them. Character have potential. I mean, here's a suggestion. I think that I think would be a hit with fans. A mini online wave of re-release paints in a very special and unique paints in a very special and unique packaging for the 6th anniversary, reminiscence of the classic series orange blue boxes. Something along those lines would be it. Yeah. First Doctor Intense Planet, Second Doctor Power of the Daleks hat. Yes. Third Doctor Terror of the Autons cape. Fourth Doctor with a season 18 with the Curator's head. Not sure that's a good idea. Because his necks were much bigger. Right? That really won't work. His body's different. Fifth Doctor, Caves of Andrews. Only 6th Doctor, red waistcoat. 7th Doctor, duffel coat. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah. 8th Doctor, Time Lord Victorious. Maybe. War Doctor from the comic. 9th Doctor, Time Lord Victorious. 10th Doctor, ball joint series for blue suit, spiked hair. Bells of St. John's, 11th Doctor, 12th Doctor, red velvet waistcoat. Oh, that's interesting. And 13th Doctor, Doctor Flux blue coat. It's actually not a bad idea. I mean, I haven't got any of the Jodie stuff, but yeah, I think I agree with it. But but the limited packaging will be the main selling point. Number the figures, release 1 to 20 editions with minor. Yeah, okay, I think that's a great idea. I think what was a bad idea is what they did, because it was a bad idea. Speaking of bad ideas, let's look at this. Tom Hanks on his thoughts on possibly playing Doctor Who. Well, that's interesting. A Hollywood star wants to get close to children. That's totally nothing to worry about, right? No Hollywood star would ever inappropriately touch children. It's coming out that Tom Hanks may be part of the pedo club of Hollywood. Even if he's not, he's certainly okay with it, because there's a lot of it about there, shall we say? There's a lot of it about. Tom Hanks has thoughts on possibly playing Doctor Who. Tom Hanks is weighing in on thought of him playing the UK's favourite eccentric Time Lord. Okay, favourite. Oh, because there's so many eccentric Time Lords. Oh, I like the meddling monk. No, I like the really. It's just dumb. Eccentric Time Lord. And why it certainly would cause a stir, or is a huge bloody star. Of course, it causes a stir. So Tom Hanks has thoughts on possibly playing the iconic British character Doctor. Okay, blah 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 blah. Shooting blah 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 blah. Okay, fine. Hanks makes it clear that he would have enjoyed the chance, but what is it? According to an interview with Hanks on the podcast Happy, Sad, Confused with Josh Horowitz, the 12th Doctor Viability, Lorben shows producers for Hanks to appear as an incarnation of Doctor Who. I wonder when. Hanks made it clear he would have enjoyed the chance. I wonder when that was. I mean, it must have been during Capaldi's time. Who knows? Honestly, I'm kind of glad that Moffat didn't listen to him. I like the guitar, I like the shades. I'm not sure I like this there. That would have been a blast, but that's all. But that's all, and all the but that's all. That's all scheduling, I guess. Can't do every job, and honestly, me as Doctor Who, can you imagine? Can you imagine the outrage? And I'm an American. I love see an American version of Doctor Who. And I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna jump in. If he's up for it, Russell Lee Davies will get him in as fast as he can. Jump in. A red telephone box. It's not a red telephone, and and either wear a scarf or whatever it is. I don't think Anthony Quinn, who played Zorba the Greek in today's popular judgment, but why? I don't understand. Why? Why, Josh? Because he's not Greek. So imagine the outcry if I played the world famous. I would say I would have played one of the Daleks. Maybe I would have been inside one of those big salt and pepper shakers, talking in an automated voice with an English accent. By the way, oh God, this sounds awful. This sounds absolutely awful. Thank God we dodged a bullet there. Man, that sounds really genuinely bad. Just some more people balk at the idea of an American playing James Bond. I saw the audition for Sam Neill to play, who was Canadian, I think, to play James Bond. I thought it was okay, quite frankly. There's something interestingly British about the character. Hanks played a Brit before. One of his many roles in Wachowski's Cloud Atlas was a Cockney gangster. He actually played a couple of English roles, I think, in it. But unlike that, the character we take on the beloved Doctor is more of a scrutiny from fans. Neil Patrick Harris is playing some meddling monk, but nobody really knows. The great thing about this is just insane waffle, right? Insane waffle. To join that insane waffle, let's go ahead with this. Mark Hamill sponsors casting, Doctor Who fan casting. By the way, if I was given control of Star Wars, like do you say, Tzvi, you need to rescue Star Wars. You know what I would do? I would do 2 movies straight away. I would do one movie be the death and life of Luke Skywalker. You would do the whole life of Luke Skywalker, and you basically retcon away the sequels because they're garbage. And you'll get to be able to see classic moments again, but from a different point of view, which also ties in Star Wars. And yes, his life. See Mara JT, and now see what his life was. That I think, and make it classic, make it fantastic, make it timeless. that's one way of resurrecting it. I'd also do another movie, The Seven Jedi. You know, Magnificent Seven, The Seven Samurai with Jedi. It makes itself, mate. I mean, I guess if Disney did it, it'll be Seven Stunning and Brave Women Jedi. And don't be wrong, you have women Jedi, but they're the only people who are allowed to have any form of not heroism, because we talked about this at the beginning of the video. So it's any form of like success are women today, right? Fine, the science fiction star may be eyeing up another legendary novel. They talked about the Joker. In the British sci-fi series Doctor Who, or at least what some fans want, in a recent Twitter thread where Doctor Who fanatics spoke about who they would want to play an incarnation of the Master, the Doctor Lush. Now, M says, well, given how he played the Joker, I'm not sure. Right? I'm really not sure. Asked whether Hamill will take on the role. Never want to let down his fans. That's actually true, right? I do like. I again disagree about most things. I do like how he interacts with his audience. Hamill replied rather enigmatic, maybe. Now, we very much doubt that the new Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies will take unsolicited casting tips from social media. I very much expect he'll take unsolicited casting tips from social media. I think that's how Yasmin finishes it, quite frankly. Yes, I think he very much would take unsolicited casting tips on social media. But it is cool to know that Mark Hamill's least open. Oh, he's saying it, donning the iconic Master's beard. Well, he has a beard already. It wouldn't be the first time Eric Roberts plays a Master, which I liked a lot. I like Eric Roberts' Master. He had a lot of fun with it. So, I don't know. Tom Hanks' Doctor, Mark Hamill Master. Yeah, I'm going to give that a pass. I'm going to give that a pass. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.